up south of Rockwood again, and there's no train today, which I realized after I scheduled the live stream and told you I was going to do it every Friday. Wintertime schedule's a little weird sometimes, but on Monday was a holiday, so they had a train on Monday and not Friday. But I believe every other weekend they'll have them Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But it doesn't hurt to still get out, and it gives me a chance to see how my signal on my phone does if I decide to walk back somewhere. So we can kind of keep an eye on that as we go. We're going to walk up from the road in, and we will see how our signal does, if we lose it or what. But yeah, just gonna do some walking and looking at the train tracks, but figure I'd still do it because then I can do a little bit of research and make sure if I decided to walk back would be good. So yeah, I know there might be some maintenance away coming up eventually. I saw them down at Hermosa loading rail on some flat cars behind a little crane, I think. So yeah, we'll walk up probably halfway to Rockwood about and see if there's anything worth looking at back here for live streams or even just taking pictures. So been back here one other time, but I was in a pretty big hurry and the train was coming quick, so I didn't find a good spot. I mean, I found a spot, but it's not ideal. That was actually the day I was coming out to shoot the galloping goose, which turned out pretty good actually. I might upload a video eventually about that. Not about it, but upload a video of my shot of it. Let's see. So we got this little hillside here. Nice thing about this mountain stuff is there's curves everywhere. There's kind of no shortage of shots. It's just getting the best one out here. You know, there's no huge amount of brush growing up. I mean, there's some down there, but on these south facing sides, not too much grows because it's so dry out here. But I need to figure out a different camera app because this is not a stable camera doing this through YouTube. But I believe I can get a different app and do a live stream through it. An app with a stabilizer would be sweet. I'll have to do some research on that. Yeah, it's hard because if you can't, you gotta have a good place to stand too. This is a pretty steep cliff here, or side hill. There, but that's almost too close. Just kind of getting the best mountains in the background. You can be a little bit picky out here. I mean, you walk 10 more steps and you'll have a different mountain behind the train, you know? Yeah, I mean, see, you could see that peak from when we were down there. Now it's not quite as nice, but if you're back up here a little bit, get on that rock on the other side of this bush, you can get those rocks. I don't know. Problem is, you go too far off the side, it's all private property. Obviously, trespassing is not legal or recommended, but I do have permission to walk back on the tracks wherever I want to get some shots. So we're good on that end. Hope everybody's having a good morning so far. Like I said before, no actual train today, but kind of going to use it as an opportunity to walk back a little bit and see how my service does. I hate to walk back during a live stream when there's a train coming and then drop the thing. So we'll see how the service holds up getting back here. I think we should be good for a while. Once you get past Rockwood, it gets tough back up in that canyon. But just kind of scouting out some spots for shots. This isn't terrible. Not terrible, but power lines kind of aren't ideal. Yeah, if you're out here, you may as well always get the mountains in the background, right? So if you're trying to get the mountains in this shot, you got power lines. But still, cool little curve. There's no shortage of curves out here. It's hard to find a spot that's bad, honestly. I don't really shoot the train in the afternoon much when it comes back, but somewhere in here, back by that tree, that would not be a terrible shot, not a terrible angle. That way you can kind of do a real nice zoom shot here and still get mountains in the background. Looking behind me, mountains are a lot closer, so it's hard to, gotta be pretty wide to get them all in there. Well, if you're just joining us, there's no actual train today, unfortunately. Monday was a holiday, so they ran a train on Monday instead and decided not to do one on Friday like they normally do. But I figured it'd be a good opportunity to walk back and see how my service holds up if I decide to walk back next week or something like that. Yeah, so we're gaining a lot of elevation. I mean, you can see that little hump in the track. From that crossing we started at, it's all uphill a ways. I know I did get a shot from here once. Let's see, it must have been in fall. They're still doing 2 trains in the mornings. Yeah, I think I stood right here and zoomed in quite a bit for a diesel, and then that was the day I walked back. I don't remember where, but we'll find it. Walked back for the Galloping Goose. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of tough because of that tree. Couldn't really be up on that rock, but it's not terrible. But yeah, we're on the Durango Silverton, just south of Rockwood. It'd be cool to get the lake in a shot. I did get a corner of it, I believe, in the shot of the goose. I think I was just around this corner up top. We'll see if we can get to that spot. I might have been right there on that rock when I shot the Galloping Goose coming through. Let's see once. It was a cool shot because there was a tree in it. I don't remember where the tree was, but I remember there was a tree in the shot. I'd never been back here up until that point. Yeah, this looks familiar. Maybe right there. Yeah, this was the spot. Had a real good shot of the goose. This would be a good spot to walk back to. Seems like my service is holding up, so that's good. It's kind of really all we're doing today is testing that out, seeing if it's worth walking back at all. Yeah, that's a good little shot. I mean, you don't see it coming for a while, but yeah, we're on the Durango Silverton, just south of Rockwood. I do have permission to be back here. If you go too far off the side of the tracks, it's private, but trespassing is not recommended. And then right up here, a real popular spot. A lot of people park at Rockwood and walk down from. Probably one of the more iconic shots, honestly, before you go up into the canyon. But yeah, we're about there right now. So you can see that pipeline out there. Big flat rock. That's a really good shot in the mornings with the light, because you're kind of just shooting at the side of the train and you're shooting at the front if you're looking down at this corner. But that's a really good shot down there. It's a lot shorter of a walk than I thought, honestly. I think at this point maybe we'll walk back to that rock and show you that shot. Yeah, I'll have to get down and we'll walk up there a little bit. Yeah, we'll get up to that real smooth rock, because I'd love to go back there sometime for a live stream. And we will see what the service is like. No, there's no train for today, unfortunately. I scheduled the live stream. I looked at the schedule for most of January, and Friday, Saturday, Sunday they got trains. Except this week, Martin Luther King Jr. Day on Monday, so they ran a train on Monday and decided not doing Friday. So it is what it is, but Friday's my day to do this. We'll just keep up with that. I mean, I believe this is like the only Friday for the rest of the winter that won't have a train. But I figured it'd be a good chance to walk back here and see what my service is like, so I'm not dropping the live while there's actually a train, right? So far seems to be still connected, but I guess at this point I'll have to watch it back to be sure. I think as long as we kind of get down here in line with that rock, we'll be able to tell what our service is, but I can't walk down there and up. I have to walk a ways further down and then up and over. At least that's how you get there from the other side, from Rockwood. So yeah, this is a real iconic shot here. Real popular. Stand up on that rock, shoot across. The lighting in the morning is always perfect. And then just this rock face is super cool all the way along here. So yeah, I got service here. So if I set up there next time or walk up to one of these curves we were looking at, I think we'll be good for next time. I know there's some maintenance away equipment probably coming up fairly soon. I'm just not sure how far they're going yet. We will have to see. But it's hard to find a bad shot out here. Hardest part would be finding a spot on the sides to actually get it, right? Like a lot of times you got these outcroppings from blasting rock. I mean, these are huge cuts they did back in the 1800s, right? That was just a rock right to the edge. A lot of these rocks on the sides are blasted out. But that's not terrible, but then I run the risk of being the guy who's standing somebody's shot if somebody decides to come out there. At this point, I think it might always be quicker to walk in from the top, from the north down, because the only couple real good shots we found are right on this curve and there. So I mean, there's plenty of good shots, but for the real good shots, I think it'd probably be quicker to walk in from the north side, from Rockwood. Yeah, we're walking out now, walking back down. No train today. I scheduled the stream and looked at the schedule and then realized there was no train. Monday was a holiday and they ran train Monday instead of Friday this week. But rest of the winter there's gonna be something on Fridays. It's just today was weird. But I figured it'd be a good opportunity to make sure my service is good. So next time we walk back here, I'm not dropping the stream or something. Yeah, shot from that curve was pretty good, looking down with the lake behind it. This is kind of tough because that tree, well, you always got a good background anywhere you go, which is nice. Other than here, actually, not anywhere you go, because right here you got power lines. And this is kind of a good zoom in shot, but those power lines, not a fan. But it is what it is. I mean, you can really see the kind of grade here. You see that hump in the rails. It's a pretty steady grade all the way up. Next time we come up here, I'll bring my timetable with. I believe it's a timetable that has the elevation change map in it. There are some sections up north of Rockwood that they actually, if you got, if it's a double header, you got to hook one engine. I guess that makes it easier for braking when you're going downhill. But in the summer, there's a lot of double headers because they run like a double train. Double the, not quite double the length, but close to it. That's a long train. So they'll run 2 steam engines on it. Appreciate you guys tuning in here. Yeah, we're just kind of a boring video, but get to see the sights out here. Next week there will be a train. I think next week we'll probably walk in from Rockwood south and get to that rock we were at a little bit ago. Supposed to snow this afternoon. It looks like it's about to start up here now. I don't know that we'll get anything down low, but sometimes you can really see it. Once you get above a certain elevation, it's just, it only snows there sometimes. But I think we're high enough right now for this storm that's coming through. And we're kind of just catching the northern edge of that big storm that's supposed to go across the south. I was kind of expecting it to be snowing heavier by now, actually. But maybe we're not getting as much as they said. We'll see. Thought I heard something. It's always hard to tell if it's on the highway or not. Just gotta keep an eye out for that maintenance away, guys. They've got a little crane on the rails that they were loading some rail with down at Hermosa earlier. Yeah, no train today, so usually Monday through Thursday they can get a bunch of track work done. But this week they probably did Tuesday through Friday. Ran the train Monday because it was a holiday instead of Friday this week, which I didn't realize when I scheduled the live stream, but I figured we may as well still do it. Walk in a little ways and see what our service is like and if it holds up. That way next time when we are actually gonna catch a train, we don't lose it. But yeah, about back to the truck here. There's plenty of good shots. Once you get out of town, it's hard to find a bad shot, honestly. I mean, even right here. You can go up a lot further and get some nice rocks in it, but if you just walk up a few steps of the side hill, you can get the crossing and all that in there. I mean, that's not bad. If you want to do some real zoomed in stuff, or even just wide here once it gets to the curve, that's a pretty cool right at the start of the curve like that. All right, just about back to the truck. That was a lot shorter than I remember. I think last time I was walking in with like 5 minutes till the train got here. I wasn't walking, I was running in. And felt a lot longer when you're in that situation. But yeah, I think the service held up. I'll have to rewatch this live, but if our service is good all the way back there, that means we can walk in from the top side from Rockwood down and not lose it. So that'd be pretty cool. But appreciate you guys watching. I'll just show the view from the crossing once more. And that camera was shaky last time. Last live I thought I set it up to do sideways, but I didn't. So it was holding the phone vertically was apparently real difficult for me that day. You couldn't see anything. Yeah, this is a good spot because it's quick and easy to get to. And then from here you can still drive around to Rockwood and catch them again. Let's see. Yeah, not terrible. There was a guy set up right here, right about here, last Friday. This is actually kind of tough because there's a lot more sagebrush down here. It's pretty grown up on the sides. So unless you're real close, and unless it's a cloudy day, you gotta be on this side of the tracks. The sun's always pretty low when they come through here. But yeah, if you're there's this little mound. It's actually pretty decent because then you can get above A little bit of that sagebrush down there. But once again, nothing right behind the train to really, I mean, you got all these mountains around, you know, may as well have something behind the train. A lot of people do a shot down the road from here, but you're risking somebody pulling up the last second to take pictures and then parking in your shot. I mean, you could definitely do something with the old crossbucks. But right where my truck is where everybody parks, so it's kind of tough. It's got to be a slow day. Hope nobody else comes. But you could even do this, right? That's not bad at all. But looking down the tracks is pretty good. I always thought it'd be cool to get this road curves and then follows down. And the tracks stay high, the road kind of drops down. I always thought it'd be cool to get a shot across that field. If you did it right, you could zoom under the power lines, but it's just, yeah, the mountains are behind it, but you gotta pick and choose. Once you shot everything else, then maybe you can start wasting some shots like that. But yes, sir. Apologize for no train today. I didn't look at the schedule close enough, but they ran it on Monday instead of Friday this week. So there'll be a train next week. Now I know, since we tested my service, I can walk in from the top side from Rockwood. So appreciate everybody who watched. We'll see you next week.